Ah, hello everyone. Yeah, I'm doing this again. A certain individual, whose name starts with an S and ends with an revival, uh, wanted me to do another one because, I mean, hey, these things are fun, so I don't really have a problem with it, just as long as that person does one too, because we made a deal, and if she doesn't live up to it, bad things will happen. Anyways, so yeah, it's me, Evan, or Buddhist, as certain individuals named me a couple of years ago, and it's kind of stuck. Um, I'm from southeastern Virginia, the 757 Hampton Roads. It's kind of important. It's actually where the first colonists, uh, the ones that set up Jamestown, they settled, or they actually landed here for the first time uh, back in 1607. We have a park, uh, first first landing state park, yeah. Um, so, but I digress. Pronounce the following words: aunt, roof, route, theater, iron, salmon, Alabama, lawyer, coupon, mayonnaise, but same people refer to it as mayo. So, uh, where was I? Did I already? Yeah, I guess I already said all that. Okay. Pajamas, cot, naturally, aluminum. That I is silent. You don't pronounce it and you don't say missile. You say missile. Okay. But you British people are weird and deviant, and well, there's not much I can do about that. It's just inherent. Sorry, guys. Um, okay. It's a GIF or GIF. I can't figure out. Tumblr, Cracker Jack, doorknob, envelope, and then there's that four-letter piece of crap. Uh, is it Gpoy? GPOY? I gotta Google this. One second, guys. Good. Gratuitous picture of yourself.
Evan, I just found
Is this
the biggest.
is this a GVOY? Gratuitous video of yourself? I don't know. All right, moving on. What is it called when you throw toilet paper on a house? That is TPing, toilet papering.
Evan,
Some people
what do you
call
mind
it
red stuff
vandalism.
with?
1 second. Steel. Or
Oh,
iron, whatever.
iron?
Yes.
Dang it.
Okay. What is it called when you throw toilet paper? I already did that. What is a bubbly carbonated drink called? It's called soda. Pop is acceptable if you're not referring to music, or no, that's about it. Yeah, it works just for a bubbly carbonated drink. However, that is kind of a misleading question because that can also include seltzer and tonic water and I don't know, sparkling champagne or sparkling cider, whatever. So yeah, that's kind of a bad question. What do you
One
call
sec.
gym shoes? Gym shoes, tennis shoes, also, but really, there's not much variation there. Uh, what do you call your grandparents? Grandma and grandpa. Honestly, they sound kind of stupid, but it's how I was raised. It's kind of a more of a nurture versus. It's more on the nurture side of nurture versus nature. So, what do you call the wheeled contraption when you carry groceries at the supermarket? It's a cart or a grocery cart. Seriously, I really want to know what else it could be. Choose a book and read a passage from it. Okay. 1 second. economics in one lesson. It's a, well, what can I say? It is some of the finest Austrian school propaganda I've read in a long time. But, it's very well written, very informative, enjoyable to read if you're a boring person. If you've actually got a life, I highly suggest that you do not touch this. Otherwise, who knows what will happen. You may become boring as well. Okay, so chapter, let's see, XXIV, that is 24. Yeah. The assault on saving. From time immemorial, let me start over. From time immemorial, proverbial wisdom has taught the virtues of saving and warned against the consequences of prodigability and waste. This proverbial wisdom has reflected the common ethical as well as the merely prudential judgments of mankind, but there have always been squanderers. And there have apparently always been theorists to rationalize their squandering. The classical economists, refuting the fallacies of their own day, show that the saving policy that was in the best interest of the individual was also in the best interest of the nation. They showed that the rational saver, in making provision for his future, was not hurting, but helping the whole community. But today, the ancient virtue of thrift, as well as its defense by classical economists, is once more under attack. For allegedly new reasons, while the opposite doctrine of spending, for allegedly new reasons, while the opposite doctrine of spending is in fashion. In order to make the fundamental issue as clear as possible, we cannot do better, I think, than to start with the classic example used by Bastiat, or Bastiat, I don't know. Let us imagine two brothers then. One is spendthrift, and the other a prudent man, each of whom has inherited a sum to yield him an income of $50,000 a year. We shall disregard the income tax and the question whether both brothers really ought to work for a living or give most of their income to charity, because such questions are irrelevant to our present purpose. Alvin, then, the first brother, is a lavish spender. He spends not only by temperament, but on principle. He is a disciple, to go no further back, of Rodbertus, who declared in the middle of the 19th century that capitalists must expend their income to the last penny in comforts and luxuries, for if they determine to save, goods accumulate, and part of the workmen will have no work. Alvin is always seen at the nightclubs. He tips handsomely. He maintains a pretentious establishment with plenty of servants. He has a couple of chauffeurs, and doesn't stint himself in the number of cars he owns. He keeps a racing stable. He runs a yacht. He travels. He loads his wife down with diamond bracelets and fur coats. He gives expensive and useless presents to his friends. To do all this, he has to dig into his capital. But what of it? If saving is a sin, dissaving must be a virtue. And in any case, he is simply making up for the harm being done by the saving of his pinch-penny brother, Benjamin. It need hardly be said that Alvin is a great favorite with the hat-check girls, the waiters, the restaurateurs, isn't it restaurateur? Whatever. The furriers, the jewelers, the luxury establishments of all kinds. They regard him as a public benefactor. Certainly it is obvious to everyone that he is giving employment and spreading his money around. Compared with him, Brother Benjamin is much less popular. He is seldom seen at the jewelers, the furriers, or the nightclubs, and he does not call the head waiters by their first names. Whereas Alvin spends not only the full $50,000 income each year, but is digging into capital besides. Benjamin lives much more modestly and spends only about $25,000. Obviously, think the people who see only what hits them in the eye. He is providing less than half as much employment as Alvin, and the other $25,000 is as useless as if it did not exist. But let us see what Benjamin actually does with this other $25,000. He does not let it pile up in his pocketbook, his bureau drawers, or in his safe. He either deposits it in a bank or he invests it. If he puts either into a commercial or a savings bank, the bank either lends it to the going businesses on short term for working capital, or uses it to buy securities. In other words, Benjamin invests his money either directly or indirectly. But when money is invested, it is used to buy or build capital goods, houses, or office buildings, or factories, or ships, or trucks, or machines. And I'm going to stop because I just noticed that this is already 10 minutes in length. So let's wrap this up, folks. Okay. Oh, I just realized I skipped one. What is the thing you change the TV channel with? It's a remote, and if you say otherwise, shut up, I will punch you. Do you think you have an accent? I believe I do, and it's a fantastic one at that. It's my accent. I'm just going to call it that. And if anyone shares it, they're imitators. Do you know anyone on Tumblr in real life? I don't go on Tumblr. Except for the shut up. An audio post by saying any 3 words you want. I need something snazzy. That's all, folks. Bye.